Welcome to the Cendien Deep Dive podcast. We're plunging into, well, one of the fastest moving areas today, software development. Specifically, we're tackling AI code generation. It's got this incredible power, right? But also some pretty critical questions. Accuracy, impact on developers. It's a lot. Our mission, as always, is to pull out the key insights, maybe some surprising facts from the sources you've shared, give you a real shortcut to being well-informed. So let's kick off. What exactly is AI code generation when we boil it down?
Okay, so essentially it's AI, artificial intelligence, automatically writing code or completing it, usually based on, natural language request, plain English, basically. And it's mostly powered by large language models, LLMs, trained on just vast amounts of code and text data.
Right, LLMs. We hear about those everywhere now.
Exactly. And what's really fascinating is how it can act almost like a pair programmer. It automates the repetitive stuff, little boilerplate code, finishing lines you started, even generating test cases.
Okay, so handles the grunt work.
Pretty much. And that can dramatically boost productivity. Efficiency goes way up. It lets the human developers focus on the harder, more valuable problems.
That sounds incredibly useful. But, okay, the elephant in the room. What does this mean for human developers? Is AI going to take over? Are teams going to shrink? Or is it, more complicated?
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? The prevailing view, what the sources really point to, is augmentation, not outright replacement. Think of it more like giving developers superpowers, not taking their jobs.
Augmentation, superpowers. Okay. Why not replacement, though? What's missing?
Well, AI lacks some really crucial human qualities. Things like understanding subtle business context, ethical reasoning, real creativity, and complex problem solving. It struggles with genuinely original ideas. So human oversight, critical thinking. They're absolutely still essential, indispensable, really.
That's a strong consensus then. Augmentation, not replacement. Our sources were pretty aligned on that.
Yeah, pretty consistently. There's talk about efficiency, changing some tasks, sure. But the overall theme is the role evolving, not vanishing.
Okay, evolving. So let's get into the nitty-gritty then. If AI is generating code, how accurate is this stuff? Can you just, trust it right out of the box?
That's where it gets nuanced. And honestly, sometimes a bit worrying. Studies show only about, 28.7% of AI-generated code is totally correct.
Wow, only 28%.
Yeah. And maybe even more concerning, nearly half of the suggestions might have security flaws baked in.
Half. Oof.
Exactly. And another challenge is, sometimes it writes code that's kind of bloated, over-engineered. It might work technically, but it's inefficient, hard to maintain later. It basically starts building up technical debt immediately.
Okay, so inefficient and potentially insecure. Any other pitfalls?
Yes, silent failures. This is a big one. The code looks fine, syntactically correct, passes basic checks maybe, but it's logically flawed. It has bugs hidden inside that only show up later under specific conditions, and those are incredibly hard and expensive to find and fix.
Silent failures. That sounds nasty.
It is. It leads to this idea, something called the 70% problem. AI gets you maybe 70% of the way there really fast.
Yeah.
Great for prototyping, but that last 30%, it takes way more effort, exponentially more sometimes, because you're dealing with that hidden debt, and the AI just doesn't grasp the depth business needs.
Okay, only 28.7% correct. Security flaws, bloat, silent failures. That really drives home the need for human oversight you mentioned. So knowing all this, the power and the limits, how is the developer's actual job changing?
It shifts,
Yeah,
definitely. Less about writing every single line of code from scratch,
Yeah.
and more about becoming a code orchestrator. A curator.
Orchestrator, curator. What skills does that require?
Well, new skills become essential, like prompt engineering, knowing how to ask the AI the right questions, give it clear instructions to get good results. Also, architectural design becomes even more critical. And rigorously evaluating the AI's output for accuracy, security, logic. There's even this interesting junior developer paradox.
Oh.
AI can handle a lot of the basic entry-level tasks now. So the expectation for new developers, juniors, it's higher. They need to operate at a higher level of abstraction almost from day one, like skipping the basics in a way.
That's a real shift in the learning curve.
Yeah. And tools like, GitHub Copilot, ChatGPT, those are the kinds of assistants we're talking about. LLM-powered helpers.
So it sounds like AI literacy, understanding prompts, evaluation is becoming as fundamental as, say, knowing Git or version control was maybe 10 years ago. Is that fair?
Absolutely. That's a great analogy. To use these tools well, best practices are key. Clear, detailed comps. Refining iteratively, you build, you review, you tweak the prompt, you build again. But the absolute must-have, the human in the loop. Thorough human review. Testing. Especially for anything complex or critical, that's non-negotiable.
Right.
Non-negotiable.
So summing up, AI code generation is definitely a powerful tool, boosts productivity, efficiency. But it absolutely relies on human expertise, human critical thinking, and that vigilant oversight we keep coming back to. Which I guess leaves us with a pretty big question looking forward.
Exactly. It raises this crucial point. As this AI tech keeps getting better, keeps evolving, how will organizations even define developer productivity anymore? It can't just be lines of code, right? It has to account for quality, security, maintainability, that essential human element in this new AI-augmented world. Maybe for you, listening, how will you keep adapting your skills to really thrive in this changing landscape?